I mean, as you say, it's a really hard problem, and it's not clear that there are technical or even legal solutions. But has there been any thought to what sort of social changes might be put into place? I mean, if you've got news organizations that are ready to jump on this smallest error in some data and inflate it into a horrible story, how can you possibly protect somebody within government from that so that they'll feel safe in releasing some data? For example, in the recovery.gov example that you brought up, if instead of having the government release data, you had all of the individuals who were submitting the data as the ones who were releasing their piece of the data, so that you could direct blame to them instead of to some poor government employee, might that have addressed that? And is that something that can be generalized to sort of treat government's open data as to treat government as a carrier of open data instead of as an author of open data?
Well, I'll tell you, my personal view about this is that this is the turbulence that comes with revolution. We're trying to pull off a revolution in how governments relate to data, and it is inevitable that there are going to be some but there's going to be some turbulence. And I guess my hope is that we're not going to. I don't think simple tactical moves in how you present the data or whatever is going to pull this off. I think this has to be. You have to view the culture change problem as within the agencies. It's got to be within the broader community of data nerds and how they respond with the kinds of apps that they build, the extent to which they participate in and take ownership of this data for themselves, which I think is a critical part of this process, which is that this whole thing is going to again flop if the community of people who care about the data don't grab it, take it, mash it, make it their own, and set up a set of expectations around that. So that's part of the culture change thing, and I guess I think about this as not so much a civil law problem where you're going to have one articulated structure that's going to fix it, but really a common law problem where tons and tons of activities and judgments and celebrations of heroes and identifications of success stories and occasional rules and directives and that sort of thing. When you add it all together, then you end up with a culture change we're looking for.
A couple of things. One is the UK folks did work very cleverly. This is something I didn't think of, but they decided it was really important to have a developer culture and a set of developers. So in fact, you could get 6 months early access if you logged into a Google group. If you all members of Google, a particular Google group, could have access. So they became a group of community people, which is something like 2,500, 3,000 people. And so that's the community of people who torn apart and discussed the quality of this data. So if somebody else comes and looks at it and says, it's not perfect. Actually, the community already will say, well, of course not. There's actual data. If you want perfect data, you need to have a look at this 10-year-old data instead. Because it's had 10-year-old to mature. And obviously, having the consumers of the data being a community as well as the producers of the data being a community, I think something might be key and something to do globally in other countries. And also, of course, I think it's important that if people are sort of swinging little bits of mark when they find little errors, it's important to offset this with huge amounts of kudos so that people actually generate good data. And so when you make a mashup of this thing, it's really important to always acknowledge. It's in the academic world, it's academic ethos that you must, when you make a better paper than somebody else's paper out of their data, they must get the credit for doing the data. Okay, they shouldn't feel frightened of putting their data out there so that because they think other people will do better work with it, they should feel proud of having a part of it. So we must have the same thing with data. I mean, applaud the governments that put out the data, applaud the people who actually worked to do it, and the agencies who've done it. These things happen often without. I didn't even know that the World Bank had a plan, and then a week ago, some data on World Bank got whatever the World Bank has got, or came out. Big bonus. There needs to be a lot of stickers and kudos flowing back down to those people. And I know that World Bank's data is going to be great, and the basis for all kinds of stuff is going to get matched up on top of it.